right. Much respect to everybody. Y'all know what it is, man. This is episode 8. I am very proud of this individual. She has definitely been sticking to her guns on this. She has been doing the damn thing. We ain't even gonna hold you up. We got to bring up our oh so lovely, our oh so wonderful and beautiful hostess. Y'all know what it is. Let's get our thinking caps on tonight. Tap in, third eye open. Everybody, welcome the oh so lovely Miss Priestess Delphi.
Remember the day I found myself swimming in the cool waters of the East River.
With your feet in the air and your head on the ground.
The world above seemed to fade away.
I've been trying to breathe underwater. I've been trying to hide 'cause I'm scared. Confusing which is one from the other. 'Cause it doesn't mean so much in the end. I've been trying to breathe underwater. I've been trying to hide 'cause I'm scared.
There she go. There
Hi
she is.
everyone, how's everyone doing? Make sure to like, comment, interact, share these videos, take your time to understand the words and the subject matter. Thank you guys for being here. Appreciate it.
All right. I see they're starting off messing with us early today. Let me check this. Yeah, they messing. I don't know what it is. Let me just get in here and check real quick and see how we looking. Sorry about that. Let me do this. Give me 1 second, y'all. Because I mean they stay messing around, man. Let me see something real quick. So now I can't go to it. Hold on. Let me see. There we go. Give me 1 second, y'all. I mean they stay messing. Yeah. Yeah, they want to play games tonight. Don't worry about it. We looking good. I just want to make sure that everything is running clear. My signal. That's all. My bad, y'all, for this quick lure. All right. Much respect to the family. All right. Y'all make sure y'all stay tuned, man. That one right there is a brand new addition, and she has a lot to say. She has a lot to say, and we're gonna get it in. Y'all stay tuned for parlay with Zay. That's all I'm gonna say. All right, y'all, and make sure definitely go over there, subscribe to Delphi Priestess, just like how it's typed in Delphi Priestess. Make sure you go subscribe. Yeah, we come. Am I glitchy? Am I good, love?
Yes, you're glitching.
Yeah, I know, right? Because they messing with me. All right, hold on. You can hear me, right?
I can hear you. Yeah.
All right, bet. So I'm just gonna stay calm down for right now because they messing with people, right? You already know, beloved. Much respect to you. Thank you for watching, tuning in. You know what's crazy? Now we're starting to go up. Y'all messing with me tonight, YouTube. All right, so look, you want to go ahead and give everybody an introduction to what you are going to be talking about this evening. And I would like to make this very, very brief announcement. Priestess, you know something I don't think a lot of people know. You know what that is?
What's that?
Me and your birthday one day apart.
Oh.
Yeah, man. Like that was the wild part about when I first met Melissa. Then we came to find out she's one day before me. She is one day before me. So most definitely always, y'all know how we do, man. Shout out to the fall babies. You know we the best. all day in the paint. Much respect. So you want to go ahead and give everybody an introduction to what we are going to be talking about? Oh, snap is right. Salute to everybody on the IG side. We definitely see you. Thank you all for tuning in. Everybody on every side, every angle, whatever platform you might be watching this from. We're running on 4 different channels right now. All right, that's what I'm talking about. Man, what's going on? Mulatto, what's up with you, brother? Respect to you. All right, so what you got for us tonight, love? What you gonna be talking about?
Well, we're gonna talk about manifesting, a form of manifestation based on becoming what you want, attracting what you want, by 3 well-known speakers.
Well, you know, that's a little tough for some people because a lot of people, like, I try to manifest the perfect man or woman. I tried to manifest the perfect job. Hey, I even tried to manifest hitting the lotto one time. And for some reason, all of these things don't seem to work. What would you say to the person that's like, I've continuously tried this manifestation thing, but I keep attracting just pure garbage and toxic people? What would you say to that? To the negative person?
The negative person, I would say, have you taken out certain beliefs, because it is all coming from you. Certain beliefs can you know, like it's the whole mirror effect, like last week I spoke about. So if you're negative and you have your certain level of skepticism is in your manifestation, maybe because you don't feel worthy all the same. So you might have to do a little bit of healing, a little bit of inner work. That could be meditation, a little bit of just sitting with yourself, forgiving yourself. You know, it's all a certain level of feeling worthy of attracting that person, the money, the job, and never stop. Keep going. You can't manifest if you stop, right? So you got to keep going.
Okay. You got a comment? There you go.
Is there supposed a special moon coming?
Is there supposed to be? Yeah, supposed to be a special moon coming. It's all good. Yeah, typo. Yeah.
I haven't. I'm not into the astrology that way. I would have to look it up just as you are. So let me go ahead and do that.
If Foxy pulls up, Foxy definitely could. That's more so. Foxy knows that a lot better.
Yeah, I'm not an astrologer, or numerology. I do mediumship reading, cemetery work, regressions. I'm more in the ethers.
You got another comment?
That would be for me. I heard like one of the best times in manifestation is during full moons. I would say yes, and it also depends. Okay, so I'm getting a download. It says for you, it depends on your sign. Because some people can manifest under a new moon, under a certain level of darkness. But yes, the full moon is the best, because that's when like an antenna is up. That's when everything is in action, everything is happening. But some people can manifest under a new moon where there's no moon. So it all depends on the phases. That's the deepest truth. But yes, the full moon would be the best. And they're telling me it also depends on your sign. It really does. Like someone like me, I'm very scorpionic, very dark. So I actually can manifest very much under a new moon. So it all depends on what you resonate with.
Okay. I like that. Nice, beautiful introduction. Nice and clean with it. Oh, girl, stop it. At least we know you get them things done and you stay fresh with it. Ain't nothing wrong with that, girl. Keep them things fresh. You know what I'm saying? So you ready to get to your first video?
Yes. Hold on. I was trying to see if I can find the zodiac sign, because I think that's what she's trying to ask me. The zodiac sign.
Mm-hmm.
Zodiac.
Okay. Okay. And while she goes ahead and gets that all situated and things of that nature, y'all already know what it is. I'm just going to take a quick 40 seconds. Respect to the family. And this is the Lighthouse. Welcome to Lamps Corp. Respect to you all. What you got, Law? You're on mute. Oh, you taking a second?
Gemini.
Gemini. Okay, so
Can you hear me? Yeah.
yeah, we can hear you now. I guess that's between y'all two. I don't know what's happening.
Okay.
I'm gonna let y'all work that out.
The full moon in Gemini. So Gemini is all about reading, writing, thoughts, creativity, linguistics, diligence. It's an air sign. It's about cutting cords, about taking things down, because Gemini have no problem cutting people off. I'm not sure which sign does it the best, Libra or Gemini. I think Libra can do it, but they're always thinking about you, whereas Gemini could do it, and it is as if you never existed in their life. It could be that way. But they're very similar in that way. All right. So you're Leo. I would say Gemini moon is the perfect for you, believe it or not. Gemini moon. So the full moon coming up would be for you. Very good with cutting cords, swords. So anything you want to detach from, any old energy, that's what I would use. That's what I would use Gemini energy, because Gemini is so good for that. they're really good at cutting cords, that energy, and creativity. Believe it or not, very creative thinkers, very good at speaking. Just
Brother Lawrence over on the IG side, another Leo here. Brother Lawrence Leo. Yeah, so we got, I guess, 2 Leos in the building. So we got 2 Scorpions, two lions in the building. All right, 2 Scorpions, 2 lions. All right. If you feel like throwing out your sign, go ahead, shout it out just on GP. Have fun with it.
Yeah, what's your guys' sign on Instagram?
All right.
Priestess, I hope you read some of my dope ink ebooks. All metal. I struggle with the act of correspondence. I need to learn to write down my goals as outline plans to meet my energy. This month, Gemini, Callie, this is the best month to do that. Gemini month is all about writing, reading, thinking, creativity, fluidity in thinking, writing, speaking. That's definitely the month for that. This month right here. All right, let's go. I don't know what we're talking about.
Okay.
There's a lot of months on Instagram. That's why.
All right. Just whenever you're ready. All I do is push the buttons, love. Just whenever you're ready.
Let's go to our first video.
All right, let's go ahead, pull up video number 1. Video number 1 is right here in 3, 2, 1. Oh, my bad. I gotta hit the disclaimer. Just so you all know, whenever you step into here, okay, whenever you come over here, first and foremost, always make sure that you bring this with you. Pack this with your thinking cap every time you step over here.
Black Air Force energy.
Did it play?
Yeah, it did.
Hold on.
It did.
Black Air Force energy.
All right, no, I just really like that. But anyway, let's go ahead and let's get to the first video.
That's
And with that
crazy.
being said, disclaimer, everybody, warning.
Imagine. Would you like to be? And you name it. Well, you say, but I don't have the background for it. I do not have any of the qualifications for it. It doesn't really matter. If imagining creates reality, you do not need the qualifications that the world thinks you need. All you need do is simply to boldly assume that you are the man, the woman that you would like to be. Well, I have seen it numberless times in my 34 years of teaching, and I'm yet to see it fail if we, the operant power, applies it.
That's my cousin. What's up? What's up?
That's what I'm talking about. Family in the building.
Yes, family in the
That's right.
building.
So you want to break down this video?
All right. So he's telling you that you have the ability to do anything through imagination, a certain level of creating from the ethers. The ethers is the wavelength is from within, and your imagination creates your reality. Let me call it. Can you play one last time? Because there's the last part again. I want to make sure I understood it.
Imagine.
That's all right.
Would you like to be? And you name it. Well, you say, but I don't have the background for it. I do not have any of the qualifications for it. It doesn't really matter. If imagining creates reality, you do not need the qualifications that the world thinks you need. All you need do is simply to boldly assume that you are the man, the woman that you would like to be. Well, I have seen it numberless times in my 34 years of teaching, and I'm yet to see it fail if we, the operant power, applies it.
Yes, the operant power, the person that is
That's what you got.
doing the work. So yes, exactly what I'm saying. To first, like I said, you believe in yourself. Know that you are the person that's creating the reality through creativity, through imagination. Once again, this month is great for this. I guess it's no coincidence. This month is great for that. Using your imagination, using that creative power to write down your petitions, what you want to manifest to come into fruition. Your certain levels of meditation, daily meditation, prayer, writing down your petitions very much can make what you want to come in reality, come into fruition, aka reality. Black
real? all day, man.
Black Air Force energy is not the same thing as Black hair bonnet energy. Asking for some.
You tell me.
Black Air Force energy.
Looks like bonnets I've seen in Walmart myself. So let's go ahead. You know what I'm saying? Like, I guess so, beloved. Make sure definitely anybody new. We want to help these sisters have a good platform. We want to help this thing grow. Make sure y'all do definitely hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, so y'all know every time she come up, every time y'all know the sisters is up here. You already know. I don't have to go around telling everybody, right? So do that for them. Do that for them. Make sure you hit that sub button for your sisters. All right, support your own, because we all we got. If they don't like you, trust and believe. You know Smitty loves us. All right, so what about the person who actually thinks negative? What about how real is it to actually manifest your negative thoughts? How real is that for the person with the pessimistic mind, not optimistic?
The person that they always fall short. They always fall short in their manifestations because they don't really believe in what they're saying, why they're saying it, how they're saying it. They don't
Right.
understand the intricacies, the very basis of what they're saying. They're just hoping, they're just wishing, they're just please, they're just in standby. They're not really you're trying to go get something you want. When you go to the store to get juice, chances are the juice is going to be there. You just walk in it. You're not hoping. I hope the juice is inside the store. I wish the juice is. You just go to the store. You buy the juice. 99% of the time, the juice is there or something equivalent to that juice. So that's the same thing with what you want in to happen and come into fruition. You have to know it's there. You have to become it. You have to resolve any other inner issues you have about any doubts. You can't be your own. Hold on.
I'm gonna get mine.
There's no point in it. Can you hear me?
You were on mute. Start over.
I say you can't be your own pessimist, or there's no point in manifestation because you don't believe in your own words. Most people are in so much doubt they don't believe in their own words.
What is I have a question here. What is the difference between a medium, right, and one who, like, what you do, like channeling? Is it the same thing?
It is. The thing with channeling, that's just a little bit different. Really the same thing, because it really is literally no different.
Right.
It depends on your craft. It depends on what you're using your mediumship for. And believe it or not, it depends on your past lives. How because certain things that come natural to people, whether it's physically, spiritually, whatever aspect in their life, the more you do it, the better you get at it. That applies to spiritual gifts. So I would say mediumship and channeling is one and the same. The only difference is how we pick up the information.
Okay. Would you say that those, for example,
it's very much one and the same.
Okay, so for example, like prophets, and they would tell people a flood is coming or what have you. Was that channeling, or was that like, or are they being a medium? Because they are between the heavens and earth, I guess, as it said. So would those who prophesize, would that be considered in that category? Because I hear a lot about those who channel, those who are mediums, prophets, you see, and oracles, right?
Well, oracles are a totally different thing. Only because most oracles know themselves as consciousness, not only a physical form. That's the oracle that, quote unquote, I'm supposed to be, or people like me are supposed to be. We're really not supposed to be just channels anymore, or just mediums. Women are supposed to be oracles. I know people are going to argue with me, but that's true. We're supposed to know ourselves greater than our physical form and stuff like that.
Right.
But yeah.
Okay. Now I'm just letting everybody know the link is right there. Anybody who wants to come up, share your thoughts. If you want to ask a question, speak your piece, all you do is click that right there. Follow the 3 easy steps. Boom, you're here. Be respectful. Make sure that you respect the hostess. Most definitely. There will be no toleration of disrespect, and you will be booted from the entire channel. All right. And that's just how we rock. Other than that, I don't care. Are you ready for your next video?
Let's go.
All right, y'all. So let's remember, we are here to definitely make sure that we get a better perspective of the different aspects of life here. Okay, this is not your typical normal live. On this live right here every Sunday, this is the live where we just kind of tap in, channel in as we get ready for the week, right? What better way to do so? All right, let's go ahead and get to this next one. And with that being said, I digress. My mic is muted. And always remember, every day that I wake up, I am.
Black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blacker than black, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blacker than black, and I'm black, y'all.
Every night, sit on the side of the road, look out at the lights, and go, I'm a popular actor. Every director wants to work with me. And I used to like open my arms and imagine things, you know, things that I wanted to come in my way. I would stay up there until I actually believed that I had all these things. And then I would drive down the mountain feeling like the biggest star in Hollywood. I wrote a check out to myself for $10 million, and I put it in my wallet and I carried it for that many years. And what happened was, basically, a few months ago, we did the deal for open my arms and imagine things, you know.
Girl, that's your video. Go. What you got? You want me?
I didn't know that. I thought it was more.
Oh, so hold on. We got real quick. We got a guest in the building. Let's make sure that we introduce people the right way. Everybody, give it up for Come Rock. Respect to the brother. All right, now, respect to you, black man. It's good to see you. I see you cut your hair. Okay, now.
Yes, sir.
Somebody done freshened up, man. Respect to you. Go ahead, talk your mind.
No, I'm just here to, you know what I'm saying, be with y'all, fam. You know, okay. I just tapped in.
I appreciate you. Priestess, what you got, beloved? This is your show.
Okay, I know camera, so
you want me to
don't
act again? You want me to play it back?
Okay. Play it again, because he caught me
Say it again. Say it again.
Just play the video again.
I ain't mad at you. All right, with that being, I digress. My mic is muted. The time right now is 9:12 p.m. East Coast Standard Time, and I thank everybody for tuning in. Let's rock.
Every night, sit on the side of the road, look out at the lights, and go, I'm a popular actor. Every director wants to work with me. And I used to like open my arms and imagine things, you know, things that I wanted to come in my way. I would stay up there until I actually believed that I had all these things. And then I would drive down the mountain feeling like the biggest star in Hollywood. I wrote a check out to myself for $10 million, and I put it in my wallet and I carried it for that many years. And what happened was, basically, a few months ago, we did the deal for open my arms and imagine things, you know.
The only part, obviously, he's not explaining.
Yeah, hold on. It's on delay. My StreamYard is on a delay. Forgive me. Go ahead. Say what you're saying. I apologize.
No problem. I was just saying the only thing that he's not obviously elaborating, he's just telling you about the magic. But, you know, some people's magic could be like that for them. They could write a $10 million check and it come through. But for the most part, you do have to go and pursue all the same, you know. You still have to full circle, do your magic, and then pursue and take action in the cause, whatever it is you want in your life and you desire. And it makes it where you're in alignment with what you want because you already set a destination. You know,
so you're telling me that he wrote that check, and because he wrote, so I guess everybody write yourself a $10 million check, believe it'll happen.
Yeah, he took the actions though. You saw that. He didn't just
Yes,
sit
he did.
around. He took the actions to go get it. Yeah, you have to take the actions. I'm saying though, you never know. There's some people with some depending on how much you believe in your own magic. Yeah, hey, why not?
Right.
But most people, obviously, after such things, you gotta what you need $10 million for. Some people don't, they write it down, they wouldn't even believe they can have $10 million. Most people don't believe because they put $10 million over their worth and value. People do that. People think, certain, that much money, I don't deserve it. They may not say it to themselves, but intuitively, they feel that way.
Mm-hmm.
So whereas if someone who does believe, hey, I'm going to get $10 million, watch me get that in a couple of years, and boom, within maybe a year or two, they'll get it after pursuing whatever they want, because we genuinely, it's been proven too. Many people, business people that I follow say that. They explain to this one lady, she started off as a crackhead, and now she's a multimillionaire. Not well, obviously, she worked her way through. She did the work, and every day she said, "Oh, I'm a millionaire. I'm a millionaire. I'm a millionaire," and it came through. So you really got to be consistent, persistent, and believe in what you're saying.
Okay.
And take action.
Right.
Action.
Okay. Brother Rob, you got anything?
Building on magic. I always think that it always has something to do with, the elements, you know what I'm saying, and also the spiritual realm, dealing with our knowledge of magic, you get what I'm saying? We always dealt with the elements of the earth, like they always had like magic circles or pentagrams or things like that drawn up to perform some type of spell or ritual or things like that. So all of these got something to play with it, the angles, the elements, they put up the fire, the foot, fire, water, air, things like that. They always put the elements around the surface. So I think the universe always has something to do with the elements of the universe. Even like the sister was saying, repeating things over again, in every ritual, they always have the thing to where they chant. They have a little prayer, a little something they chant to the universe too to put out there. So I gotta log out. Yeah.
You good, bro? Hey, I thank you for coming up. You can come back anytime you choose to while we up here. Respect to you. All right. I think boom. Y'all don't mind me. Mosquito got in. I get it. It's annoying as shit out of me.
You look worried. Like,
because it's one of the big ones. It's one of them long big jumps. one of the motherships. So, and it keep flying around my computer screen, and it's irritating me right now. But I'm all right. Let's stay focused. So the manifestation part, I do believe that that's something that I will say that I did speak music into my life. I remember being 15 and, before I had any equipment or I knew anybody where I could go record, or I knew anything about this stuff back during the days of CDs and stuff, right? I do remember at 15. That's why my first album's called 15 to 23. Started writing at 15, and I never forget the day I was 23 years old and I was riding back from the studio and I had my first copy of my music and I was listening to myself, and it sounded better than what I imagined it would sound. You know what I'm saying? And that was something I honestly could say I was thinking of it for years. But as you were saying with the Jim Carrey video, I was putting in that work. Them late nights, I'm up with that pen and pad. I'm writing, I'm formulating. Every time I get a bar that comes to my mind, I don't care if it's a receipt, a brown paper bag, something, I got to put it down. I got to make sure I jot it in my mind, right? And so through that, I did develop the ability to like master the art of like, metaphors and stuff when writing. So I do believe that in what you're speaking about. Now, are you ready to go ahead and tap into this other world that we're going into? You ready for it?
Let's go.
All right. So, damn it, I missed you. I thought I got him. Okay, let me focus. Focus. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you. Don't worry. I'm gonna get you what Michi will. One of us gonna get you. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna talk about Thoth. What do you know about Thoth?
Thoth.
Thoth.
I know Thoth. I know a lot about also known as Trismegistus. That's what some people will say. But he held the Akashic records. He's a being of light, Akashic records, information.
That's another name for Thoth, is what you're telling me right now?
Trismegistus, Hermes.
Trismegistus. Okay. I'm not hip to that.
Yeah, some people will say he's Hermes Trismegistus, who wrote the Hermetic books, the laws of correspondence, the laws of vibration, a lot.
Okay. So what we're going to be doing right now, because, I do think there is a connection, right, to what it is that Priestess is speaking about when it comes to the manifestation. All right. Now, let's go ahead and tap into the whole history and I guess the secret techniques of the pineal gland. All right. Let's go ahead and see what we got. And with that being said, I digress. My mic is muted. The time right now is 9:20 p.m. East Coast Standard Time, and I thank everybody for tuning in. Let's see what we got.
For centuries, traditions across the world have whispered about a dormant potential inside every human being. At the center of this wisdom lies the pineal gland, a small, cone-shaped organ deep within the brain. Dismissed by modern science as a simple melatonin regulator, the ancients revered it as the gateway to higher consciousness, the seat of the soul. In this video, we'll explore how Thoth, the ancient Egyptian god of wisdom, encoded a method for awakening this inner gateway. He didn't just theorize about enlightenment, he mapped it. What he left behind was not mysticism, but method, and today we'll decode it together. Before we begin, if you find value in this kind of deep, let's dive in.
Here's the secret to replying faster without sound.
All right. 1 second, you guys.
Question. How many faking they streams, getting they plays from machines? I can see behind the smoke and mirrors, niggas ain't really big as they seem.
Let's go. Forgive me.
And the power of Thoth's technique, we must first grasp the significance of what he sought to awaken. Let's begin by exploring the pineal gland itself, what it is, why it matters, and how the ancient world viewed it very differently from us today. To modern biology, the pineal gland appears modest, a tiny speck tucked between the hemispheres of the brain. Yet ancient traditions around the globe unanimously elevated this gland to divine status. The Egyptians symbolized it as the Eye of Horus. The Hindus called it the third eye. The Greeks spoke of it as the seat of the soul. Why such reverence for such a small organ? Because the pineal gland is not just an anatomical feature.
I didn't know it was considered an organ. Let's keep going.
It is a sensor, a transmitter, and a receiver of light. Not just visible light, but spiritual light, frequencies that exist beyond the physical spectrum. Thoth understood this. He spoke not in doctrine, but in vibration, not in commands, but in resonance. His language was symbolic, but his message was practical. The pineal gland, when activated, opens a portal to dimensions beyond linear time and material space. Yet in today's world, this sacred organ is under siege. From fluoride in our water to artificial light that disrupts our sleep-wake cycles, modern society seems engineered to suppress pineal activity.
And you know something? You there?
Yeah.
Priest, I absolutely believe that. I believe that at one point we were able to actually, what we say, tap in, and I mean truly tap in. I believe that theirs was one point, at one point in time, there were things that we could do then that most people would basically consider to be like superpowers today. I believe that there are things that we were able, like I believe I believe that there are realms once upon a time we were able to actually see, besides the third dimensional one, in which encompasses us. And I've heard a lot of talk about the pineal gland, and what's crazy, when you see the pineal gland, which I'm sure is going to be shown, it's shaped like an eye. It's a lot of mystery behind it, and so I'm here to learn with everybody else today. Let me know when you want me to stop it, but I want you to think about how there is a connection here, right? So that connection here is everything you talking about channeling. We're going to get into a lot of that with this video. It's only about 8 minutes. We'll go section by section, but let's rock out.
More damaging, perhaps, is the cultural conditioning that teaches us to dismiss intuition and relegate inner experience to fantasy. Thoth's teachings remind us that when the inner eye opens, the need for external authority dissolves.
Now, is that more so when you're speaking about becoming your higher self? When you become your higher self, what is the difference that one should be able to recognize when they become in the state of their higher self? What differences should they know from their lower self? Like, let's say if you gave it 3 key factors to look for.
The higher thinking, the ability of it, how the higher thinking, and their meaning, they can see possibilities that, like, the average, what we've been conditioned to believe not to be true. So a certain level of manifestation, magic. If you're thinking that you're a witch, a wizard, a priestess, a third eye, you're talking about all of that. That means you're connecting to your higher self, your connection. Another way is when you start meditating and you're able to connect to the chakras in your body. Connecting to your body, higher thinking. Let's see what else. I mean, it's a lot, but the first thing would be higher thinking, connecting to the body.
Take your time.
Yeah, because I'm getting distracted here too, but
it's all right.
I would say a form of channeling, mediumship, channeling, getting downloads. What people would say, oh, downloads. Oh, I just got a download, or stuff like that, like download, channeling, mediumship, being able to access information that you wouldn't get in your daily life, and that you might not even get in books or haven't been written in books in a long time.
I see what you're saying. Okay. All right. Okay. Let's see what we got right here. Let's keep on going.
You reclaim your sovereignty. Now that we've seen how central the pineal gland was to ancient understanding, the question becomes, how did Thoth encode this knowledge for future generations? To find the answer, we turn to the symbols he left behind, symbols that aren't just visual art, but keys to unlocking the body's potential. Transitioning from physiological understanding to symbolic application, we begin to uncover the language Thoth used to pass down his method. These weren't mere metaphors or myths, they were blueprints. Ancient symbols are not decorative, they are functional. The Eye of Horus maps directly onto the structures of the brain, including the pineal and pituitary glands. The Ankh illustrates the alignment of the spine and brain with the flow of sacred energy.
Dang it, I'm on mute, my bad, y'all. I've always had a close gravitational pull to the Ankh myself. And I've heard different meanings, but I haven't heard this definition of it. So that right there was something else. Okay, let's keep going.
These are not artistic expressions. They are scientific diagrams, anatomical schematics, and energetic maps. The temples of Egypt weren't places of passive worship. They were living laboratories for spiritual transformation. Symbolic systems resonate with specific frequencies that affect the energy body. When properly engaged, they initiate processes of memory restoration and energetic activation. Every glyph, proportion, and temple corridor was built to echo the human form.
Now, if we know this, right? So, Priestess, are you there?
I'm here.
Okay. So if we know this, when it comes to these things being of, so what basically he's speaking about is that a lot of how we've perceived ourselves generally is how we wound up, how everything wounds up happening, how you perceive, how you see your life and working out, like your walk through life. That has a lot to do with your headspace and how you see it. Now, you know, one thing that's very fascinating about this whole thing. I remember I was talking to my doctor and they was telling me how they said, man, you are, I mean, out of anybody we've known, your healing is beyond what we've seen, right? And that's when I kind of adopted the little, you know, nickname Wolverine, stuff like that, my healing factor, right? But what they was telling me is that a lot of it has to do with my mentality, how I thought about the entire process. The mindset that I've had throughout the entire process has been my biggest attribute. My biggest attribute. They've told me stories about how people have literally passed away through time simply through thought alone. They off themselves through thought alone. No, you know, bullet, no jumping off anything, no found swinging from something. Their thoughts alone is what off them. Their thoughts alone is what kept them and really decreased their health. Why do you think it's said that, for example, stress, what does stress lead to, beloved?
Stress can mess with the hormones, the kidneys, the steroids,
Physical parts of the body. So you thinking, overthinking too much, you stressing physically can cause the body ailments. Where is your stress rooted in? Like, where does it start? In your mind. It's what you're thinking about. You're worried about, let's say, bill. Now, I'm not saying what you're stressed about isn't legit. I'm just making the correlation in how we think about things, right? The more you actually, yes, you can, it's known through science, frowning more, being upset more, yelling more is bad for your heart, right? That's why I even learned, man, I like to be cool, chill. You know, I raise my voice if necessary, but I don't like to do that because I know it's not good for my chakra. I know it's not good for my actual physical organs in my body. My heart being one of the most. I notice that when I get real frustrated and if I raise my voice too much, literally, I get a headache, a physical headache. There's something going on. You see, there's something being disrupted. So that is the one thing I can say to, like, in a more simplified way for those who may not really all the way get. I know it may sound like it's just some spacey, mysterious. No, it is very much so simplified if you really tap in and open your third eye. You can think yourself into the grave. You can also think yourself to where, like how Jim Carrey was saying, you like, I thought myself into good health. They told me, I was told by the doctors, they said when I kept asking them, you know, the number one thing I was so terrified of, because they was telling me that, well, you know, my right arm, like my whole right side was dead for like a whole year. It was dead. I had to learn how to, like, I'm almost ambidextrous at this point. I had to learn how to use my left hand. I had to eat with it, write and sign papers, everything. My entire right side was completely dead. And you know what they kept telling me? When I asked them, will my right arm come back? And I'm right-handed at that. I'm not a lefty. I'm almost one now. It's amazing what the mind can adapt to. But when I would ask them, you think it's going to come back? My right arm, they kept saying, we don't know. They just kept saying, maybe. We don't know. We hope so. Do y'all not know how terrifying that is? So I didn't allow those responses to have me be in a headspace to where, no. Yeah, that same right arm that was completely dead is that same right arm that I sit there and do this today with. They said this was dead. They said that was dead, and that's where we at now. You smell me now? So I ain't worried about it. Like, we got to make sure that we keep that in mind. Your mental has a lot to do with how you operate, how you process life, how you see things. I know that there's so much negative around me, endless negativity around me, right? But you know why I continuously say, I don't really see too much of that often, or that's not my world. I can't relate the whole nine, because I don't allow it to become a part of my world. I don't allow these things to become a part of me or anything that within my bubble, which is my world. I have an atmosphere just like our actual planet does. Try to just come in from space and you're not properly equipped and everything else. Try to come in from space. You're going to burn up, right? And that's how I've guarded and set up my entire world and atmosphere around me to be. You can't just enter into these airspaces. Nah. So, and what do I mean by that? When I say guard your tongue, guard your eyes, there's certain things I don't like viewing. There's certain things I don't like listening to. I do that to guard myself. You smell me now? Respectable OT. All right. So when I'm guarding myself, that's what I mean by that. Guard your tongue, guard your eyes. Now let's go to it in a simplified manner. See no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil. That's guarding yourself. It's basically the same principles. So with that being said, I digress. My mic is muted. Let's listen to this a little bit more and see what we got. All right. Can you hear this, priestess?
Aligning body, energy, and cosmos.
Can you hear that? Okay, and I'm just making sure it's up. Okay.
The ancients preserved this knowledge not through literal language, but through form, vibration, and pattern. Before we go on, if this video is helping you see things more...
Not really big into committing to things.
All right. Boom. And we are going to take a very, very brief, let me get this out the way, get that out the way. Boom. Hold on. We're going to take a real quick commercial break. And this commercial break is brought to you by Where You Are Located. Where You Are Located is the Lighthouse, and welcome.
Context and the symbolic structure, we now turn to the technique itself. Thoth did not leave behind idle mysticism. He offered a methodology, a physiological and energetic process. It begins with breath, not shallow or unconscious, but rhythmic, deliberate, and refined.
Didn't you say you wanted to do some classes, right? What is that? With the bowls and stuff? What's it called again? You're on mute, love.
Crystal, hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
I just sound baths with crystal bowls.
There you go. Okay, so now, isn't there a breathing technique involved with that? Because I've seen people do that before, and I've seen them kind of. So my thing is, when you're channeling or meditation, how important is breathing? Because that's basically what it's on at this point, right? Talk about it.
Well, breathing is It's pranic, it's energy, it's life force. It stabilizes the mind. And because I've been in spiritual situations where I had to breathe, or else I'll be everywhere. So when you close your eyes and you just focus on the breath, that in itself is a meditation. Closing your eyes, focusing on the breath, deep, long, slow breaths in and out for long periods of time can put you in a trance, very much connecting you to your third eye. And the more you do this consistently, a regimen, religiously, however you want to say it, you will start to become your higher self. You'll become one with your higher self, what we're calling higher self, because you're tapped in to the breath of life, your existence. And then the more you meditate, you can start that feeling this realm to be more lucid and just as fluid as the breath. It gets really deep. That's when you can tap into certain mystical powers that you have. So meditation is more than just relaxation if you do it consistently for long periods at a time every single day.
And you know something, even in a more simplified form, working out. So of course, I work out virtually every day at this point. And breathing is so important during my reps. Anybody who works out, who does anything, breathing is so important to the reps. And with the breathing, it helps me also clear my mind. During that process of breathing and pushing out, contracting in, whatever it might be, whatever exercise, whatever workout I'm doing, I mainly work on core, shoulders, and arms and my traps and shit, right? So anytime I'm doing any workout, what I do is I make sure that I keep my breathing intact. That is so important, right? And during that time of that breathing process, I can literally, like anybody who's ever went and worked out, went for a jogging, running, breathing, extremely important. You find your mind to start to cleanse. It's almost like with every inhale and every exhale, you start to recognize a cleansing of one's mind. And I can't even front. I have recognized the right then and there firsthand beneficial factors of what comes with that. So yeah. Let's go ahead and see what we got right here. Let's keep on going.
Breath is the carrier of life force, the activator of dormant systems. When paired with stillness and intention, it creates a current of energy that ascends the spine, known in Egyptian symbolism as the Jed pillar. This movement isn't abstract, it's electrical, anatomical. Cerebrospinal fluid, rich in information and vitality, rises up the spinal column. When it reaches the pineal gland, and the conditions are right, silence, retention, clarity, it activates the gland's internal crystals. These crystals are piezoelectric. They respond to pressure and vibration by generating light. A subtle interior glow, a shift in perception.
You know what that's made me think of? You know what I've always been interested and wondering more about? I think because when he says this, the very first thing that comes to my mind, Priestess, what do you know about acupuncture?
It's an alternative to like painkillers. It helps with pain in the body. That's all I really know.
Yeah, but I've also, like in the Asian arts of it, from what I know, it's also been something that they've used. They'll lay down, and it's not just, it is for pain, but it's also to like stimulate certain, it's like to activate certain parts of our entity, our body, that we usually couldn't tap in on. Like they do acupuncture around the neck, shoulder area, spine and stuff. It's very dangerous, but when done the correct way, it's like you're supposed to be able to like have like these like lucid visions in a sense. It almost can make you hallucinate. Like people do it to actually also tap in as well. It's also another form of that. I'm going to look deeper into it before I speak too much on it, but I do know what I was watching one day, because I'm, you know how we do. We just always looking up information. So, but yeah, that's the first thing came to my mind. But let's go ahead and get back to the video. Let's see what we got. We're just about done. It's only 8 minutes. We got about 3 more minutes left. I'm gonna let it play through some.
A dissolving of ordinary boundaries. At the same time, the sacred secretion, formed monthly in the solar plexus, ascends. If preserved and guided, it reaches the brain, transforming an...
Hey, real quick, I almost could you grab some of Lawrence's comments on IG? He's definitely interacting. I don't want nobody feel left out.
All right. Okay.
Whichever ones you want to get to, get like 2 or 3 of them. He has a lot there, so
I don't have the IG with me. That's why I'm getting the phone back right now. Give me a second.
Oh, okay. You want me to read them?
Yeah, you read them.
Okay, all right. I'll read them and you can go ahead and respond. Okay. The higher self, spiritual enlightenment and self-discovery. Okay, all right. Looks like it to me. Hold on, let me see what we got here. Distinctly Egyptian and swampy spaces where gases rise from the sacred earth. You will find oracles. The West called them witches. All right, one more again for the win. Distinctly Egyptian and swampy spaces where gases rise from the sacred earth. You will find oracles. The West called them witches. So I guess he's saying that on the West Coast, what we call witches, on the eastern side of the hemisphere of the world, they were called oracles.
Yes, I would agree. Oracles, but I want to almost say the two are different, because they're using the word witch in a derogative way, like bad way. Oh, you're a witch. But the witch is the title. The witch is the title in itself, and oracle is the title in itself. I'm trying to say, like, if a witch can very much be an oracle. I know they're gonna come after me for that. It's because if this witch understands herself greater than her physical form and she's genuinely doing her meditations, that means she understands her connection to the Akashic records, her connection beyond the Akashic record, not just though, beyond though. So that's what oracles, the really high priestess, they understand themselves greater than the Akashic record. That's one of the biggest secrets too. So, but yes, in terms of demonizing women, calling them witches because of their intuition, yes, they're celebrated in the East. A lot of things that once were only celebrated in the East are now being celebrated out here in the, or am I saying opposite? It's now celebrated here in the West. So witches, oracles, priestess, whatever you want to call it, we're back again in fruition, back in existence. And so swampy, I'm thinking Louisiana, the South. Yes, we're all back again.
All right, okay. So let's go ahead and get back to it. The time right now is 9:48 p.m. East Coast Standard Time, and I thank everybody so much for tuning in. Let's go ahead and get back to it.
Into light. This process is the origin of resurrection myths, the inner alchemy that makes the initiate a living sun. It's not metaphor, it is transformation. We've decoded the symbols and examined the practice, but knowledge alone isn't enough. The next step is the most important of all, embodiment. This final chapter brings it all together, showing how to live the technique, not as theory, but as your everyday reality. Understanding the technique is only the beginning. Thoth's message was not to escape the body, but to master it. The path to transcendence moves through full embodiment. The body is not a prison, it is a temple. When we preserve our sacred energy and align breath with intention, we begin to live in resonance. Food becomes fuel for light.
And I'm so glad that that was brought up. Food becomes fuel for the light. All right, so I do believe that there are a lot of components. Again, there are things, too many things in this world around us today. I really don't blame anybody for not being able to like really tap in, for people really not being able to see life in a more depth aspect. I don't blame people for being on average one-dimensional, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't see it, you know, how most people can be able to tap in, and here it is. I mean, really, it's so many things. The frequencies, what's in the air, what's in the food, all of these things definitely dumb us down. It's so difficult, and that's why they make the most, I guess you can say, bow. Let me see. Hold on, y'all. Yeah, they messing with the live. One sec. Hold on. Bow. There we go. That's why they make the most healthiest. That's why they make the most healthiest of foods, the most expensive, the most hard to get to. Some of the most valuable things to eat in the world, we don't even have access to. Okay. That's why I like to pull up my little shorts and stuff about like different fruits all over the world and stuff and different foods, because I'm just blown away at how many different types of foods there are that do help us with truly our mental health just as much as physical health. See, when we think about food, we primarily think about the body, right? But don't forget, there is something called omega, right? Omega is wonderful for the mind, right? Okay. We know about dark chocolate being pretty damn good for cognitive retention, right? So a lot of times they say, like in colleges, you should have yourself a little bit of red wine and you should have yourself a little bit of chocolate. Now, if you want to go overboard with stuff, you can, but not really. Dark chocolate before a test is excellent for trying to retain the information that you have. Now, what is in dark chocolate? There are components in dark chocolate that actually stimulate serotonin. All right. I don't know how it works in its fullness. We can do a live about that. We can all learn together. The little bit of information that I do have is that it's something, it's a component that's in dark chocolate, specifically the raw essence of chocolate, that actually helps the mind stimulate memory. I don't know how it works, but it's amazing. What you got, love, when it comes to what you eat and how you feel, how you operate? I remember once or twice I did speak to you, and I do think we were talking about diet and how you were saying, you know, how you eat a certain way. So what you got for that as far as how you eat and how you think and feel throughout your day on a basic level?
Okay, so I can go really high with this or keep it really simple.
Girl, you can go wherever you want. It's your show.
I'll start off slow and then I'll go up high. So we're gonna
Do what
start
you
at
want.
0 and go up.
Okay,
So
now.
eating is nutritious, it's good for the body, and it depends on what you're eating. What type of meat you're consuming, if you do choose to eat meat. Fruits and vegetables, it all depends, what time of the day, and so forth. Now we're going to go up higher. Some of us, when you get into spirituality, we don't eat meat, and it's not so much for the health benefit than it is vibrational. The more dense food you eat, the denser you are. So obviously meats are more denser in vibration and the karmic exchange that comes with eating meat today. And there's conspiracies about a lot of the food being cloned and the way the food is being managed, and it's not what's the word, orthodox, the way in which they go about killing the animals. So all that's vibrational, and you're taking that, consuming it, and putting it in the body. So that's when, actually, believe it or not, prayer does come. You should pray before you
yeah.
so
And you know
can
something,
the food.
before you go up another step or what have you, let's go to a natural nature fact about this, right? All right, so I'm going to name 2 animals, and I want you to tell me which one is more than likely to attack you if you come across it in the wild. Okay, you have a lion, you just came across it in the wild, and then you come across a gazelle. You come across a gazelle. Which one is more likely to attack you?
It's more territorial.
Wait, I want us to pay attention to something. Now watch the psychological. The lion eats what?
Meat. The lion eats meat.
It's a carnivore. Lions eat meat. All right. The gazelle eats what?
I'm not sure. Do they eat meat?
Grass. They're grazers. They're herbivores.
Okay.
Like horses, zebras, cows. They're all, deer. Gazelle is nothing more than just African deer. That's all. The antlers are just shaped. That's all. It's just a deer in Africa. So, so they're herbivores. So my point is, I want you to think about it. The animals that are more likely to attack you, if you think about it, leopards, you name it, right? Heck, even badgers with their evil butt. I swear, badgers are spawns from Satan himself. But anyway, all of these things eat meat, and the animals that eat meat generally are the ones that will attack you. Animals that are herbivores, rabbits, you name it. Think about the herbivores, cows, all of these things, horses, they're more than likely to try to get away from you, right? So when you said the density, and when you said it's not about necessarily just the health, but the mental, now let's take this to another step into the real world. How many times have we seen a big fight bust out in a Popeyes, a McDonald's, a Wendy's, or whatever, like Burger King, places, Walmart, places where they sell what? Honestly, not just the meat, but low vibrational meals. I want you to tell me, how many times do we see online in organic markets, organic food markets, you see people fighting and being, if you go to an organic market yourself, generally it's a whole different feel and vibe from the staff to the people who shop there. It's way different because of what they put in their body.
Yeah.
They're not as hostile. I want us to really think about that. When we see these big fights, somebody mad because this was my order, and you don't know how to be more calm with things, and you're more aggressive and be out. Everybody wants to pull their phone out. Now it's a big fight. I'm not saying it's never been a fight in the organic market, but I'm just saying, let's be for real, people. How often do you see that? You don't. It's chill. It's peaceful. It smells like a farm, as far as the organic, like the vegetation, not the animal part, but the vegetational part. It smells like fresh soil, so on and so forth. When you go in there, things smell fresh. The people act a different way. Their mentality, their headspace is different. And I do recognize the correlation when it comes to diet and how we operate. When you eat way more meat and you don't have as much vegetables, you're generally more aggressive and less patient. That is something I can make the correlation to. Generally, people who have more of a fruit-based, veggie-based diet generally are more laid-back, calm, kind of hippie, cool, chill. They don't really want confrontation too much. Let's really think about that. Let's tap in. Third eye open. I digress. My mic is muted. What you got for that, beloved, before I push play?
Yeah, that's very much true. People who tend to eat fruits and vegetables are in a different vibration. They're not in a dense vibration, and that's why you are very much what you eat, and you have to be very careful what you
I
eat.
like that. Yes, yes, you are what you eat. And drink water.
Yes.
It's the key to life. Literally the key to life. Yeah, you know, so I'm with you on that, love. All right, so let's go ahead and get back to this. And with that being said, I digress. My mic is muted. The time right now is 9:59 p.m. East Coast Standard Time, and I thank everybody so much for tuning in and watching. Let's get back to it.
Movement becomes sacred.
And when we're done with this, we just going to chit chat for about 10 minutes or so, because I got like 2 main questions for you, and then we can go ahead and you know, we can wind it down. All right.
All right.
The nervous system recalibrates, the glands awaken, and the pineal begins to radiate. This radiance is not theoretical. It manifests in sharper intuition, expanded awareness, and a calm clarity that can navigate any illusion. The world may not change, but you do. You begin to walk with presence. You stop.
Would you say that while you're changing, I mean, the world doesn't change, you do. When you change, does the world around you change, or is it just you change and the world stays the same?
Usually, when you change, usually you tend to change the environment. So, when you see the world, I would say yes. If you really, really change, you might, because everything is vibrational. Certain people can witness certain wars that you might not, even in the same timeline. So, as you change, you hold the frequency.
What do you mean not the same timeline? Real quick, because, you know, and I only do that, you know, for the people who just trying to keep up. What does she mean by that, the same timeline? Is this Back to the Future? Are you talking about a ghost? What do you mean?
Okay, so vibration. Everything is vibration. Existence is very fluid. So we could literally stand next to each other and see. We could see the same thing, but we could be looking at the same thing but see differently, even when we're standing next to each other, because everything we're in different vibration. What we do, how we eat, what we do on a daily basis determines what we're seeing. So that it's the same thing with certain violence people may not witness even physically, and they could be in the same neighborhood because a certain level of protection, certain level of which all that's vibration is protection, certain level of protection, so we would call it, you know, vibration also. So that's what that is. If you're not in that vibration, everything is certain level of vibration and resonance. So that's what I mean. And it gets deeper and way more confusing where I would have to start to channel. But for the most part, yes, you can be in the same neighborhood from the same family and not witness and not feel the same, feel that you've been treated the same, even as a family member. And it could be that simple, but the parent might say, no, I treat you the same. That could be very much also a vibrational thing because of the contract in incarnation, why you chose the parent, the lesson that you chose to learn as an individual with the same parent, even if you're twins. So it can be like that.
Okay. All right.
Hopefully that made sense.
Nah. You crushed it. Nah, bump that. You get this right here, girl. It's just for you.
Is it possible this story is true? Yes, it is. You're right. It's fact.
Stop seeking and start seeing. The veil thins, and what was once myth becomes direct knowing. And as you embody this state, your presence becomes transmission. You don't preach the truth. You become it. As we close, if this message resonated with you, let us know in the comments. What part of Thoth's teaching spoke to you most?
Boom. All right, so Let me pull this up. So what we're going to do briefly, all right? So now we're winding down. We're into our final segment of the evening. I appreciate everybody for tuning in once again to episode 8 of Priestess Delphi over here, man. Hey, look, you doing the damn thing, all right? You doing the damn thing. So let's go ahead and rock out. And always remember, when you come over here, regardless of what day of the week it is, bring this with you.
Black Air Force energy.
All right, y'all. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a real brief commercial break. And this commercial break is brought to you by Fishing with White Folks. That's right. Be careful fishing with white folks. And then I have 2 questions that I want to ask you. And we're going to talk about that briefly. Then we're going to go ahead and do the damn thing for the evening. And with that being said, let's go ahead and rock out. The time right now is 10:04 p.m. East Coast Standard Time. And I thank everybody for tuning in.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Skills around the corner. Walking on the fighting side of me.
That don't look like it.
It
goes down.
It don't. It don't go down.
Robert, it goes down.
No, it don't.
It do go down.
Oh!
Boom. And we are back. So, you ready?
Yes, I am.
Hold on, wait. I don't know what happened to my volume. Hold on. Say something again. Might check 1, 2.
Yes, I am. I'm ready.
All right, bad. Okay, let's get to it. So, this is what I'm curious about, right? So, hold on. I want to make sure I'm always good, right? What does it truly mean to experience a spiritual awakening? And how can someone recognize when they're beginning to awaken? I'm gonna read that again. What does it truly mean to experience a spiritual awakening? And how can someone recognize when they're beginning to awaken?
That one is so hard because everybody is going to experience something different. But it's very much when people say the ascension symptoms. You start ringing in the ears. You start feeling things. You could start feeling energy. You start becoming more sensitive to your environment. You naturally might even have the desire to eat lighter because your body might just be rejecting certain meats, certain food. Your way of life just starts to change. There's people that have that. They call that ascension symptoms. How do you know very much you're into spirituality? You question religion. Some people are afraid to question religion because they're like, no, this is the word and that's it. But then when you do research on certain scriptures, you find out they're, I don't want to get into that, but I'm just saying you start questioning society at all costs, all aspects of society, the education, the politics, the religion, because the average person doesn't. They just follow suit, just like in the simulation. What do you call those? The backdrop people. What do you call it? My kids have the name for it because they play video games a lot. But you're no longer just following what everyone's doing. You start realizing there's more to life. Wait a minute. I'm not gonna just go to work and die, retire. You're gonna pursue finding even certain people who are looking for spiritual status. They're trying to change their status. That form of people looking into the legal statuses and claiming themselves no longer as the straw man, just their birth certificate, and trying to understand themselves to say that they're a human being, not just a person. There's a difference between your birth certificate and claiming common law. Even that's spiritual.
Okay. Okay.
There's
Okay.
so once you start going against the grain, going against the norm, that's when, those are so many different ways. So many different ways. When you start going into conspiracy, spirituality, just starting to just question all of society, all aspects of society. Those are all
Okay.
spiritual awakenings.
Okay. Okay. All right, let's make sure. All right, back now. I'm going to read this question to you twice, okay? You ready?
Let me get a pen and paper so I can answer it
Yeah,
accordingly.
'cause this one right here, I want you to make sure you know exactly what you're going to do, okay?
Let's see if I have. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
All right, here we go. Respect to the family, the time right now is 10:10 p.m. East Coast Standard Time, and I thank everybody so much for tuning in. So what we got right here is this. How does the state of our mental and emotional landscape influence what we are able to manifest in? One more again for the win. How does the state of our mental and emotional landscape influence what we are able to manifest in? You got the floor, beloved.
Yeah, it's very much what I said earlier. It 100%. It influences. It influences our mental state, our emotional state influences the end result of your environment. If you have certain traumas, you might start attracting the same people in your life. Every time you're trying to do something different, you realize you have the same friends, the same relationship, the same financial issue, the same, you name it. It keeps repeating. Belief system, a certain level of belief system allows you to continue to that's why you have to be aware. You have to be aware of what you're thinking on a daily basis. Most of us are automatons. We're not actually thinking. We're not aware. Not only thought from the mind, but a consciously aware, allowing yourself to be aware of how you feel. Some people are not even walking around being aware of their emotions and understanding how their emotions are affecting their reality, are affecting the manifested before you. So, for instance, we are a vibration, and if you're here and you're still watching, you resonate with this level of information. You're vibrating high. How do you feel about the information? Tells you if you resonate, how much you resonate with the information. Now, do you do research, to continue to do research on the information given here? And in doing that, you find out how the research and the information can benefit your life, so you can transform your mental state and your emotional state to influence the greatness that you're seeking. Everybody wants greatness. So yes, I would say 100% your mental and emotional go hand in hand. You can't neglect one. You have to be aware of your emotions, aware of how you feel about things. And a lot of times your emotion is influenced by what you do on a regular basis, certain habits. If you wake up to exercise, you're going to start off in a totally different energy than someone that just gets up, scrolls on Instagram. There's a difference between the two. I love all that. I love all those pictures. I love that one the most.
All right, I like that. Okay. All right. Last one for the evening. And I definitely have something to say to this one. All right. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready. I can't hear you if you're on mute or not. So. Can you hear me?
Why is it doing it? I don't know what is going on. Yeah, StreamYard playing games. So look, here we go. You ready? All right, Can the Pursuit.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Here we go. All right. So, can the pursuit of manifestation, no, can the pursuit of manifestating your higher self become a form of spiritual bypassing or narcissism? And how do we recognize when personal growth crosses into dangerous territories? I'm going to read that again. Can the pursuit of manifesting your higher self become a form of spiritual bypassing or narcissism? And how do we recognize when personal growth crosses into the dangerous territory?
I want to be like that.
So
There's no such thing. There's no such thing
as a dangerous side of your higher self.
No, because if you've reached your higher self, that means you're very much aware of your connection with your existence. The higher
Right.
self simply means your connections to the ether, to the point where some of you will say, some people who take their spirituality seriously will tell you, food. What food? You don't need to eat. You can be in existence. You could say, oh, I'm immortal. You could start talking even more crazy than I, because you
You
understand
don't talk
yourself
crazy.
to
Stop saying
exist
that. Stop saying that.
eternally.
Stop saying you talk crazy. You don't.
There's no
Speak how
such
you
thing
speak.
as, unless you're not in your true power. If you're being like a fake, you're being fake, and you're not really doing the work, and I hate this word narcissist. I haven't really sat down to really understand the word. I haven't done the definition, the breakdown of the word, so
Basically,
I'm thinking like, who the
in a
hell
nutshell,
put the two together?
in a nutshell, when you're a narcissist,
I get it.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I think we're on delay. I think we got a
Yes,
delay.
I can hear you now.
Okay, yeah. It's a delay, ladies and gentlemen. So what it is that narcissism, basically in a nutshell, is when one is not of recognizing that other people actually feel. Other people, like when you're inflicting something onto someone and you can't recognize what it is that you're doing to them, then that's considered narcissism. When you only see your pain, you don't recognize nobody else's. You don't understand nobody else's plight. Everything is about you, basically. And you don't believe that possibly could exist.
Because the whole point of connection with self,
right,
is to be connected with that and with people. When you're connected to yourself, for real, you are aware of your actions. When you're taking the time to meditate, hydrate, sun gaze, fast, you're taking the time to connect in union with who you really are. Your connection with self allows you to be empathetic and understand. That's also another form of awakening, empathy, empath. You're empathetic with that person. Sometimes empaths can take on the burden of other people and not understand that that's not their emotions, even because you want to help So usually people, if you're genuinely in your path, because it's not a path for other people. Spirituality is an individual cause, an individual journey. It's not going to look the same for everybody. That's the beauty. So if you are genuinely going inside, taking to reflect, sitting your emotions, and I almost want to say, that's what I do in past life regressions, or regressions. I lay you down, I let you to go inside so you can take the time to heal and find out about any traumas you may have, why you exist today. You're so connected to your higher self. You usually become enlightened. You find out why you incarnate, because the greatest understanding is that you've incarnated. We're just pretending in many ways that we don't know who we are, if you want to get really deep. So if you're really doing the work, you're doing the chakra healing, you're genuinely taking it seriously, where you understand that you are the higher self, you are the self. We're calling it two different things because we sit in a certain level of duality. We believe there is separation, but the form you take. But you can become any form. You live in many different realms, as different beings, as different creatures. When you're in oneness with yourself, in any dimension, because I've spoken to beings in different dimensions, they're in higher frequency, that when it get deep, I end up
how was that
experience? When you get a certain level.
How was that experience? Was it scary?
No, it felt like home. It was the Lyran beings. I became who I am when I'm there. I'm a teacher in that realm. And so I very much took on my role. And as Melissa, I should tap in my dream time to tap into the Lyrans. That must be, I feel like that must be a channeling to tell me in the middle of this conversation. That's what it feels like. But yes, I very much, and we all can do this, because I don't want people thinking just I can do it. You can do it. You can do it. Anyone can do it. You just have to, start off small. If it's too much for you, take it at bite size and work your way up. That's what I would say. It wasn't scary. The Lyran beings are very good beings. They're beings of light, the ones that I've met. There's councils. I'm usually with the councils. But that's a whole different story right there.
All right. So for those who are on that level, because we can't leave them out, on your, I guess, like, final thoughts on this, and take your time on it, right? Like, when it comes to mastering the deception and illusions of this world, what is it that you all on that level that most aren't? What is it that you're able, like, what are the capabilities required in order to not let the illusions of this world deceive your true vision? How do you still stay seeing the truth in a world that's filled with lies?
I know it sounds simple, but it's sitting in meditation, taking it as seriously as your 9 to 5. The longer you sit inside, you start to understand, you start to imagine yourself, you start to understand yourself not only as a physical form. You start to understand your connections with yourself and every other realm. And it makes it easier for us to be able to contact you. It makes it easier for us to speak through you. It makes it easier for us. The lighter you eat, everything I've been saying today is very much a message for an individual on here that will watch this later. So make sure you continue to hydrate, meditate, sun gaze, and fast. So that's a message. Because when I start saying we and us and this and that, that was a channeling. So no, I like you said, I digress because I don't know what the question was because I was heavy channeling. I couldn't
How
interrupt, but it's simple.
Go ahead. We're on delay, and I know that. How? All right. Does those of you all on that level, how do you stay seeing the truth? Like, how do you stay tapped in to what is really going on around us and not allow, right? Remember when I spoke about it? How do you all not allow this to overcome you? How do you stay focused in a world filled with delusion? Once you step out the cave, I know, but once you step out the cave and you back out in the environment, the dunya, the world, how do you stay steadfast? That's a higher level. That's not everybody can't do that.
It's hard. It's hard. I have seen consciousness. I've seen myself as a consciousness. I feel like, wait, were you there? Did you see too? I've seen consciousness where I was told if I was meditating as religiously as I preach, I would be further along, because the time when they were, like, in many ways testing those of us that are out here, my crown chakra was open, and I saw myself as the patient, as the building, because I'm a nurse too. I saw myself as the patient, as the building, and then I looked up and I said, oh my God, this is just a game. And it was just like everything was clear, but I was not able to consume that, hold on to that. I almost felt guilted to understand that level of existence. I basically would be walking around like a god, like I'd be saying, I'm God. I would be like, and it's like, whoa, I wouldn't be able, it's too much. That's why they said that, certain level of meditation, you start to understand yourself as consciousness from the inside out. So when that day comes again, don't be so scared. There must be someone in here too that's gonna watch this, that if that day comes again, y'all, we going for it, because I'm tired of being down here.
Hold on now, hold on. See, you scaring me now. Now you sounding like Judgment Day woman. You said sounds like Armageddon over here. Should I go ahead and get a bunch of canned goods and extra AA batteries? What should we do now?
No. It's not like that. It's just that if you can imagine that you understand, you can control your world, and that existence is pliable like clay.
Yeah.
And then you understand literally that this is a game. And sometimes I literally want to come on here I'd look like a psychopath, because I'll be like, this is just a game, guys, and we don't know how to play it.
But listen,
and then people are like, it sounds crazy because you're
but I want you to pay attention. A lot of times that's simply because a lot of people are not tapped in. Like, let me ask you this. How much pressure? Is it more pressure on the ones who have the vision to recognize that majority don't see what we see? Or is it more pressure on those who can't see it or don't choose to see it, to tap in. So who has, do you see more pressure? The one who needs to elevate, or the ones who have elevated, but we are surrounded by majority of those who refuse to step up? You got the floor, love. What you got?
Those of us, you know the saying, ignorance is bliss. So people who don't know anything, I feel bad for them. I do. I feel bad
Talk
for
about
them
it. Talk about it.
Because they don't know what we know, but at the same time, the person that's more pressure in this world are people like us, because a certain level of gifts are going to come online, and they know that, you know, people like me are ready. We're tired of eating and shitting every day.
Oh, you mean being human? Oh, and getting tired and things of that nature, right?
Yes, because we have lived the human experience. So the time of us becoming angels, gods, the prophecy, I'll take it on, because I'm sure there's a timeline of me that took it on. Because they always tell me, oh, there's another version of you. She took it on. She did this. She did that. I'm like, well, damn. How do I align with her? Because I'm tired now. I want to know how to play the game.
It is.
I'm tired of being played.
That's all right. So wait, that's what I'm saying. When we talking about you tired of being played, you're tired of going through what it is that we go through. I'm honestly asking, what is it that we manifest that allows us to see? Did you not? All right, so watch this. Did you manifest being played? When you got played, did you manifest it? Did you?
I can't hear you. I didn't
Can you hear me? When you, all right, can you hear me now?
Yeah, you said, did I what?
When you, all right, so you said, you know, the whole part when you was like tired of being played. Okay, cool. Did you manifest being played?
I might have. Because I'm too scared to play the game.
Then why are you on the field?
Because they won't let me go. I don't know about sports, but I don't know if there's ever such thing as
they keep
a player
on
that
calling,
they know it's good. They keep calling me back,
calling.
keep calling me back, keep calling me back. And I'm like, don't bring me back to Earth, not Earth. Anywhere but planet Earth is ghetto down here.
Man.
You're like, we eating shit down here. I don't want to be here.
All right, so but see, that's where I am with it. Like that's my whole thing. So
us secret angels, you know who you are. Us angels, those who are gonna watch this later, whoever's gonna watch this later, you know you tired of playing the game, playing small. Anyway, I don't want to get.
Nah, you're good. I'm trying to ask you though. So for the sisters who do want that wonderful man, all right, for the sisters that want a good man in their life, for the sisters that say there are no good men out here, and I keep on coming across horrible guys, and I'm such a wonderful woman. And these women, a lot of them that I do, because you know, in the world of social media, you know, you get the chance to talk to people, and I hear a lot that I don't know what it is. I've done everything right. I am I put myself in this position, that position, but for whatever reason, they keep coming across crab ass dudes. Are they manifesting these crab dudes, or like what's going on? Like so let's direct the energy. Let's help the sisters out before we get out of here. You know what I'm saying?
Its chances are they need healing. Because if you keep manifesting the same thing, find out why. Ask yourself why. Why am I manifesting the same thing? I said get a session with me, because if you're spiritual, chances are you will be the one answering that question, because your higher self or your soul self will tell you why. You know, do join the channel, look up the testimonials. and the videos that I want to say the poor souls that allow themselves to be, seen. So I would say if you are manifesting the same guy, chances are you haven't gotten over the same guy. Certain people who've been abused, I don't know, called the abusee, tend to like the abuser still. There's crazy stuff like that. So you got to heal. You got to forgive yourself and the abuser. Move on. Takes a process, because if you want something different, you shouldn't be getting the same thing. There are of course good men out there. If you are a good woman, then there's a good man out there for you. Obviously, everything is vibration. The right man will come. Take your time to heal.
There's a bomb
It takes
just
work
for
when
you.
you really look for something.
You heard me?
Huh?
I said there's a bomb dude.
No, I
out
didn't hear
there
you.
Yeah, I was saying there's a bomb dude out there just for you. I'm talking to the audience, you as well. Somewhere out there is an awesome man that is customized and designed just for you. Now, how do you bring that man forth in your life? I don't know, because I don't date men. I don't manifest men. So you're gonna have to ask Melissa. Melissa, what do you have? I don't. I can't tell you ladies how to manifest a man. I don't know how to do that.
I'm not gonna get into my stuff. I'm working on that when it comes to relationships. But I'm not necessarily looking either. So I'll tell you guys when I find one for myself. Prosperity.
But you know something, when I hear that word though, I get a little nervous.
In alignment with relationship.
Huh?
I
said when I hear that word, I get a little nervous. Prosperity.
What word?
Prosperity.
I can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
Delay. I can't hear you. What word?
Prosperity.
Well,
can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now. What
Prosperity.
word makes you nervous?
Prosperity.
What word makes you nervous?
Prosperity. Can you hear me? Why can't you hear me? This is weird. Why is StreamYard doing this?
Glitching. You're glitching.
Huh?
You're glitching.
Prosperity. Let me see something. Hello?
Okay. Why? Why does it make you nervous?
Because of prosperity gospel. And I guess that word, every time I hear it, I think of people that just like only time I hear prosperity is when people are talking about money. I never hear prosperity talked about in any other way. I don't know. Maybe you can give a quick little side note of it or something, but I never hear about it in anything other than money.
For the relationship.
No, I'm talking about church.
No. Prosperity is is similar to abundance. When you say abundance, it doesn't only mean money. Abundance comes in so many forms, and so does prosperity. Prosperity in a relationship, prosperity in friendship, prosperity with business partners, prosperity in a marriage, which is based to me, which is means greatness. I don't know if you have let's look up the word prosperity real quick.
Okay. All right. So 1 second.
The computer's too slow for me to look up.
I got you. So 1 second. Here we go.
Sorry.
All right. So you ready? You can hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So here we go. 1 second. Where is it? Hold on. Borrow from. No, hold on. I don't know what the heck that is. Hold on, let me go back. I just want to make sure I pull up the right. Okay, here we go right here. All right, so let's pull this up. Prosperity. Okay, so right here, let me see something here. Yep, here we go. All right, so prosperity, wealth, all right, success, profitability, affluence, riches. You see what I'm saying? Opulence, ease, plenty, welfare, comfort, security, well-being, luxury, milk and honey. Okay, a bed of roses. Okay, prosperness, prosperiness, I guess. I don't know. So you see what I'm saying? Like, again, when I hear about it, and even as we look it up, it does. It's prosperity. I just hear money, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing. Hold on. There we go. And I'm not saying
you can have prosperity in your relationships, your friendships, it can come in any form. I still consider it a form similar to abundance. That's what that is. Abundance. Prosperity, abundance. It's synonymous.
It's okay. It's like abundance. Okay, I got you. Okay, they work in tandem.
Yeah.
They work in tandem. I see what you're saying. Okay. Nah, I appreciate that, beloved. Well, most definitely, you already know. Everybody, we definitely appreciate all for tuning in. This is the point where we just kind of rock out. We just gonna kind of groove out. Priestess, if you want to stay up as we groove out, you can. If you want to go ahead and tap out, you can. All right. You know that you are definitely putting in that work, and it's always appreciated. And again, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you for sticking through this so far. That's what's up. I just want to let you know that it is noticed. It's noticed. You're doing a wonderful job. Wonderful job. All right.
Thank you.
Make sure, because you know we're gonna be doing our cash giveaway in a little bit. So you know we gotta do that again.
Yes.
Yeah, we gotta do the cash giveaway. Somebody asks. Yeah. We're gonna do that again. Yeah, we're doing a cash giveaway again. I'm just trying to make sure I set everything up right. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna see what we got. You already know. So yeah, we getting ready to groove on out. Y'all already know what it is. This is the part where we just kind of play some tunes. We just kind of kick it and cool it as we wound on down. I'm gonna finish my steak, rice, and broccoli. That's what I'm gonna do. Have some steak, rice, and broccoli. Yeah, I'm gonna finish that, and I'm going to just enjoy some good company briefly before I go ahead and turn in for the evening. But with that being said, anything you want to say? Because you need to get the final word, girl. This your show. I can't talk last. You got to look. This is the one time it's good for a woman to get the last word. Okay, you see that, ladies? Y'all can get the last word sometimes, guys.
No, you didn't. Yeah, drop down.
All right, but you know what? All right,
I want to say to everybody, the spiritual journey is not for the faint of heart. It's not going to look the same for everybody. Believe in yourself, and how your spiritual journey is going to look isn't going to look the same for everyone else. And sometimes it does. Sometimes there's so many similarities because a lot of it comes in metaphors. A lot of spirituality can't really be explained in words. You know, that's why we need to start tapping into our spirituality so we can start, doing telepathy and actually understanding consciousness in our, start doing the magic that really comes with being highly spiritual. And I want to be like, don't be afraid of the call. If you find yourself in a leadership position, no, it's not easy. Not everybody's going to take to you. Right. But you got to keep going. I've been, in this for quite some years now. And I see you guys. The higher self is saying, I see you guys. So thank you all for being here.
I love it. There we go.
Won't ever want to quit.
Yeah, for sure, Smitty. Bro, I'm telling you, bro, we gotta just change up some shit, bro. Sometime, you know what I'm saying? We gotta come with different flavors and vibes. And the fact that you want to come hang with us, bro, you more than welcome, bro. Don't be a stranger, please. Like, cause I've been hearing about you, seeing you on other panels and shit, holding it down. You feel me? I ain't never heard no bullshit about you. That's for sure. I fuck with it. I fuck with you, my boy.